Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to share a really quick, short practice that I like to use when I want clarity around something or just kind of want to spotlight or kind of precipitate something or surface something that is already kind of on my mind or already is fairly charged for me. And I like this practice because it doesn't really require a lot of overthinking. It's just kind of really fast and sharp and really top of mind. So I'll go through and demonstrate how this practice works. And you can use a tarot deck, an oracle deck, dixit, really any type of imagery deck. I'm using a deck that is similar to dixit in the sense that they're just imagery cards. They don't have prescribed meanings to them. But the first step is to pull 3 cards and turn them over. So I've just been shuffling as I've been talking, so I'm just going to go ahead and pull 3 cards. So we have this one, and let's see, here we go. This one here, get my dice out of the way. And then once you have the cards, just without an analysis, choose the one that feels the most charged. And so what does that mean? Maybe I say that and you're like, okay, I know exactly which one that feels the most charged, but also thinking about, maybe which card feels the heaviest, which one do you notice some kind of a somatic embodied reaction or response to? Which one feels just the least bit uncomfortable or interesting or just really magnetic. And the idea is that you don't even need to know why. So you don't need to justify one, just whichever one feels the most charged. And then once you have that, that's the card that you'll be working with. And then you can just put the other 2 cards aside. And then I like to set, because like I said, this is really short and sharp, I like to set a timer for like 60 seconds to a minute and a half. And then I'm gonna journal 3 lines, very quick, no overthinking. The first line is, and their sentence completion. So the first line is, this is about X, and then I write what it is. The next line, I know this because Y. The next step is Z. Right? And I'm doing 1 sentence per line, no long paragraphs, no backtracking, no editing, just letting it be really blunt. And if I were to get stuck on something like that, for the first sentence of this is about, I would name it as a situation, not necessarily a personality trait. So not thinking about this is about, my avoidance or whatever, kind of naming the situation. This is about whatever the situation is, a specific situation that is personal to me. The next sentence, I know this because, is pointing to like a specific feeling or a behavior in your experience, right? So I know this because I keep thinking about it, or I've been postponing it, or it makes me feel, uncomfortable or whatever it is, or it makes me feel really joyful or really happy if it's something that's more, uplifting and more positive. And then the next step is, and that, again, if we want to kind of use these exploration processes in ways that we can more practically apply and bring into our life, kind of naming a step that is really small and specific, very doable, right? Sending that email, scheduling this call, putting it in our calendar, taking a walk, whatever it is, setting aside 5 minutes to be creative or to do some kind of an art project. So it's not about, a really super huge like overhaul, nothing that's really abstract, but something that can be actually doable and done. So again, this is a really short, creative, exploratory practice where we kind of use the imagery to act as a precipitate for what's kind of on our mind. We do some really quick top of mind exploration, and then the idea is to generate something actionable that we can actually bring from this into our lives. Again, with the idea that this process and this practice always serves our greatest good and is always good news. It's always serving us and helping us to grow.